I would have never recovered from a 17-year-long pornography addiction if it wasn't for therapy. It might not be the most well-known method you've heard about on the internet, and yes, I had previously tried NoFap, no PMO, cold turkey, and the like, but I was sad to notice that none of these methods had lasting results on me. This is because these methods are focused on the symptoms of the addiction and not the root cause of the addiction. Hi, this is Dimitri. I'm a psychotherapist and a recovered addict to pornography myself, and my mission is to help as many men as possible quit pornography using therapy and emotional reprocessing. And if you want to start your healing journey to quit pornography, you can subscribe to this channel. I am posting new videos every week. In this video, I give you the 5 reasons therapy is the most effective tool for quitting pornography. In all of this, the hardest thing that's going to happen on your path to healing with pornography is to get out of the cold turkey mentality, is to get out of counting the days and going on a long streak and forcing yourself to quit pornography. Of course, if you haven't tried those techniques, you can try them. But if they've been failing you for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, it's time to stop and address the fact that this is a real issue that's happening in your life, and to find solutions that are actually proven and that are working. So the first thing about therapy is that this is probably a method you haven't tried yet. All right, therapy is probably the last method you will try, because talking to someone about your pornography addiction may feel shameful. I always talk about the triple taboo of pornography addiction. It's taboo because it's an addiction and no one's really proud of having an addiction in the first place. It's taboo because it's talking about sex and sexuality, which as much as there's more conversations about sex nowadays, there's still a taboo about sex and sexuality. But also it's about pornography, which within sex and sexuality, pornography is designed to be the Pandora box of sexuality and the human psyche. So pornography itself is taboo, and as soon as you talk about pornography, everybody starts looking down, and there's an awkward silence in the room, as I've experienced many times when talking about that subject, which personally I don't feel any taboo talking about this, so it makes it really easy for me. And one of the reasons why I don't feel any taboo, honestly, is because I worked so much on this, and I talk so much about it, that I've made peace with the fact that this is what used to happen to me, and this is what I wish for you, is that you can find so much peace within you that you can talk about this freely to anybody you want, including your therapist. So therapy is a new method you may have not tried before, so if it's time to try something new, then why not try therapy? The second really good point about therapy is that it addresses the problem directly, and it addresses the root causes of the problem as well. If you start therapy, no matter the type of therapy, you're going to be working on the behavior, watching pornography. You're going to be working on the shame that you feel about that. You're going to be working on your cognition, so the set of thoughts that are leading you to watch pornography, but also the other pillars, what I call the pillars of quitting pornography, the 6 pillars, which are, let's see if I can go in order here: changing your behavior with pornography, removing shame, healing the root causes at the cognitive, emotional level of these addictions, reducing stress, living a fulfilled sex life, and build a fulfilling life and living with purpose altogether. That's the 6th purpose. And when you go into therapy, automatically you're going to start talking about these things. You may not address all 6 things, and this is really my own secret recipe for addressing addiction. And some therapies will restrict themselves to only 1 or 2 or 3 aspects of that. But even if you touch on 2 of these aspects and you go really deep, you will see some positive changes. So this is why I recommend therapy. It will address directly the problem and its causes, and you're not going to be like juggling with different techniques of trying to move away from pornography that are unsuccessful. All right, the third reason why I think therapy is really helpful is that you'll be guided by a professional. All right, so it may be it's possible that you never talked to someone about this issue, and you've living this double life where you're keeping this for yourself and nobody knows about it, which was the case for me for a long time as well. It's possible that you've opened up a little bit to some friends that you trust, or to some people in your surroundings that you trust, and you've had this conversation, and that's amazing if you're able to have that. But the professional frame of therapy will allow you to be given the permission to talk in a space where the person in front of you is non-judgmental, where the person of you has a duty of care towards you, and they will not shame you, they will not judge you, they will just allow you to speak out your truth and the reality that you're going through in this addiction, and just allowing you to speak this out with no judgment and no repression at the back is going to be extremely relieving and comforting. So the duty of care of the therapist is the first thing. The second thing is that they will allow you to engage in accountability. Accountability is not so much counting the days, going on a streak about how many days without pornography, etc., which you may know I'm not a big fan of these techniques, to say the least, but they will keep you accountable on your goals. If you say you're going to do something the session after that, next week, 2 weeks after, did you really change your diet? Did you really remove stress in your life? Did you really talk to that girl that you wanted to go out with and engage in sexual encounters with, etc.? So the professional, the therapist, will keep you accountable. And the last thing, of course, is that they have expertise. All right, there's so many flavors of therapy in the world. All of them will have their expertise, but all kinds of therapy can be helpful to an extent into addressing this addiction, so long as it's not superficial and only addressing the symptoms and the behavior, but we're tackling the root cause that's underneath. These people have expertise. They have studied, they have invested money, and so they are health professionals, and so you can be guided by their expertise and methods. Now, the fourth point is the biggest reason why I think therapy is important here is because you are changing yourself. You're not forcing yourself to go through the day by not watching pornography. You're not keeping tabs of how many days, this and that. You are changing how you are built and how you respond to the world and to your environment and to the people around you. And you realign yourself with your best self, with your healed self, with who you truly are, away from the addiction. And these changes are integrated. They become you. Once you start healing, you are the healed person. And the patterns that you changed are going to stay there for the whole time. All right, so I always say this is like a checkpoint if you're in a video game and you're playing, that's like video games in the 90s, and for example, you're playing a car racing game, then you pass the checkpoint, and that is saving your progression throughout the game. So here's the same. Every time you go through a different stage of discovering yourself and healing yourself, you become that. It's not something that you can revert. You can kind of revert to your non-healed self because you have healed that part of yourself, or you've corrected that part of yourself. Not to say that no adjustments are going to be needed in the future, but you are saving the progress you're making by changing yourself. And what other object of art and dedication would you like to work on other than yourself? You start as a big ball of clay, and little by little you're adjusting and sculpting a beautiful shape of who you want to be and the life that you want to live. And what else is there that is more beautiful in life than someone who dedicates themselves to creating the life that they want for themselves? All right, and the fifth and final point here about why it's important to go in therapy and when we're suffering from pornography addiction is that this therapy and the results of it are going to go way beyond just pornography addiction, but the positive impacts of that are going to extend throughout your life in many, many varied aspects of your life, your career, your finances, your studies, your relationships, what can I say, your hobbies, everything, every single aspect, your faith, everything. Once you start dedicating yourself to working on the object of you, the benefits, you will see progress in your life. Okay, let me say that. A lot of people think that their life is stuck because they're addicted to pornography. And that when they heal from their pornography addiction, when they stop watching pornography after a really long hard streak of 628 days, they will be free. The reason that the thing is that their life is stuck because what is causing the pornography addiction is also causing other dysfunctions in their lives. I am so excited when I go to a session of therapy because I'm going to discover who I am. And at the end of the therapy, I'll be happier than when I started, and I will know myself better, and I will be in a better position to take my life in the direction that I want. How can you not be excited about this? All right, I'm just really, really excited to work with all my coaches and therapists every time. You work on yourself, you become better, you address the root cause that is causing the pornography addiction and the other things that are not going well in your life. All of this is integrative, all of this is holistic, all of this works together. All right, before I had plans for my life, but everything was going like sideways and it was a bit wonky. Now I feel really aligned. I feel really at peace with myself. And I just go from A to B, and that's it. And I know for a fact it is therapy that's allowed me to have this control over myself, to heal the addiction to pornography, to heal the addiction to sex, to heal the addiction to sugar, and to live the life I want to live because I've chosen to do that. What a strong statement to make, and this is all I wish for you in this process of healing with therapy. Now you might wonder, what is the next step to get started with therapy? The first option, of course, is to try to find a therapist in your local area. Like I mentioned, all forms of therapy are efficient to an extent and will deliver results to an extent. However, it might be difficult to find someone who has the expertise in the particular area of pornography addiction per se. And this is why I created my own therapy program on my website, unhooked.care. I've put the link in the description below. Unhooked is like an online clinic for pornography addiction. In this space, you will find a 12-week therapy program to quit pornography in the most efficient way, and that is by following my process, Heal, Quit, Thrive, where we focus on healing the root cause of the addiction, looking into our childhood traumas, looking into our sexual fantasies, looking into any strong emotion we feel. And once we've healed the bottom core of that, then we can easily work on the behavior with pornography and move that away. This is so important and the most efficient technique I know to date. On top of my various video programs, Unhooked is also a supportive community that you can join that is optional, and access to private sessions with me. So if you want my help to help you find the root cause of the addiction, and then once this is healed, to move away from pornography efficiently, I'll see you on Unhooked.